slavery, 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 slavery. Do you think he's a slave?
I want to be a billionaire by 30.
Billionaire by 30. Why does someone want to be a billionaire?
I don't care how much money you make. Start saving money. You going out to the party? I'm not coming.
Yes.
How to ask my husband to be able to kind of be a stay-home mom.
Husband makes $975,000 a year and won't let his wife stay at home with the kids. You don't need to go back to work. If you're making $975,000, you don't have to get into work. What's he spending his money on?
I don't know.
Let's do some reactions to some legends on the internet.
I'm Lloyd James Ross, 7-figure investor and entrepreneur, and I've helped thousands of business owners and professionals turn financial stress into success. If you're stuck in old money habits, overwhelmed by investing, or unsure where to start, this is for you. I'll give you the mindset and strategies to take control, grow your wealth, and achieve financial freedom. It's time to make your money work for you.
All right, it's time to have some fun. Let's do some reactions to some legends on the internet. Buckle up. You're gonna laugh.
I don't care how much money you make. Start saving money. You going out to the party? I'm not coming. We're going out to the club Saturday night? Dude, I'm not coming. We're gonna go over here. Dude, I'm not coming. We're gonna go do this? I'm not coming.
Yeah, so say no to more stuff. We're gonna do this? Nah, because my priorities are different. 100%, that's what you gotta do at the start.
Save, invest, save.
Yes, save, invest. You can't invest if you don't save. And how you save, you stop doing stuff that costs money. 100% that's what you gotta do. Most people say yes to too many things. In the beginning when you're young, say no to more stuff, and then later on you can say yes to more things.
Save. Your income goes up, don't change your lifestyle. Your income goes up, don't change your lifestyle.
Lifestyle creep happens when you start making more money, you start spending more, but keep it exactly the same as you start making more. You get a gap. The gap starts to build, and that's what you can invest in. You can scale your money without scaling your effort.
Your income goes up, don't change your lifestyle. Let your income increase 2, 3, 4, 5 times before you dramatically change your lifestyle.
Yes.
If you can afford to live in $1 million home, live in a $500,000 home.
Yes. Underspend your income. It's not rocket science. I don't know why people think that, oh, I'm spending this, I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna spend the same. There's no wealth building in that.
If you can afford to live in a $3 million home, live in a $1 million home. If you can afford to live in a $10 million home, live in a $2 million.
Warren Buffett is one of the wealthiest men in the world. He lives in a house that cost him like $40,000 and he's still there. He drives a beat up car. He hasn't let lifestyle creep overtake his wealth. That's why he's so wealthy.
And then all of a sudden, boom! You're like, man, this pillow got softer. I sleep better right now. I feel better. What the hell just happened all of a sudden? Because you made better decisions. So
the life luxuries you think are luxurious won't be if you've used debt to get them and you're still under financial stress. Whereas if you're financially independent, even your pillow that's not that comfy will feel a lot more comfortable and you'll sleep more soundly. That's 100%. Well, of course I agree with him. He's a multi-skillionaire.
If you're in your 20s, here's how you save your first 100K. Now, this won't work for you if you're soft or if you're a punk. But if you're a G and you're serious about success, pay attention. Start working 12 hours a day. Get a second job, get multiple jobs, get side hustle.
12 hours a day, because the more you work, the less you spend, because there's no time to spend. Get a second job, yes, because you won't be able to fill 12 hours a day almost with one job. And jobs are the fastest way to make money. In the beginning, you trade your time for money. In the next step, you trade your money for time, then you trade your money for money.
Drive Uber in addition to your regular job. I was able to do this when I was in my 20s. I spent 2 years working an average of 12 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, so when I was on the come up, I was working 6 days a week in a property business and a side hustle in network marketing that we had to use my spare time to make extra money. I agree.
Personal training people in the morning, starting at around 5 a.m. I would train a few clients, then I would go work security at the product store for about...
The only way to get ahead when you're starting out to trade your time is to actually spend more time doing that stuff. So getting up early and spending your time doing things before and after work is the only way to get ahead when you're starting out in your 20s. So without a doubt, do it. I did it. I expected, well, this guy obviously did it too, but definitely, I agree.
And then I would work a few more hours for a moving company in Manhattan. And I did that 7 days a week. And on the weekends, I woke up early, trained people at 5.
See, he's working so much. He has no time to spend money. And that's the beauty of this. If you want to save money, just spend like as many hours a day working, because you're not spending it when you're working. And that's how you get ahead. And you don't have to do it for very long. 90 days of this will get you ahead. When I was in my 20s, like YouTube wasn't even really around, or Facebook for that matter. So like, it's not like it is now. So if you're in your 20s, you can buy and sell sneakers, you can trade things, you can do ads, you can get on Fiverr, on Airtasker, you can do odd jobs. I mean, my wife even looks after dogs using the Porsche app and she can make thousands of dollars babysitting dogs. What the hell? Babysit some dogs. It's not that difficult. Just go to an app and go to work. You're not usually getting ahead because you're just pretending to work. You're fake working. Stop fake working. There's so many opportunities now to do anything. You don't have to get up and PT people, you can absolutely use apps to your advantage to make more money in your spare time.
Slavery, 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 slavery. Do you think he's a slave?
It's mathematically impossible to get rich in a 9 to 5. It's mathematically impossible.
It is possible mathematically to get rich in a 9 to 5 if you underspend your income, put it into assets, and let it grow over time. It's just not fast, but mathematically 100% possible. If you're on $350,000 a year in a role in like a mining company or a bank, and you're saving your money, you can 100% get wealthy. I have friends that are wealthy who do that. So.
Actually, add the numbers up. That car over there was $500,000. Do you think that a person that's working a 9 to 5 can afford?
Well, if a person in 9 to 5 saved up 100K and they bought Nvidia stock, they're buying a ton of Ferrari. So yes, you can. You just have to have the financial knowledge to be able to do it.
Spending $500,000 on just a car. I'm not saying that you're a slave, but if you expect to get a Lamborghini, get a Ferrari like that by just going to a job back and forth nonstop, you are not going to get towards that result.
You can probably grab a Lambo for about $390,000, and you can actually, with a job, borrow the money for that. So you could easily get a Lambo for $390,000. You go to carsales.com, go look at Lamborghini. You can probably get a Gallardo or a Huracan for like $300,000, and you can actually borrow the money in a job to do that. Okay, so you can actually get a Lambo in 9 to 5. You just probably not the best idea, but you definitely could. Then you could put YouTube clips together and sell stuff and make money, I would think.
This has always been said in the books. If you don't make a change, you will never see change. If you never change anything in your life, you will see no change.
Very true. If you don't change your inputs, you won't change the outputs. If you want an unconventional output, you've got to have an unconventional input. So start doing things different to what people do, and you'll have different things to what they have.
What has been your biggest financial mistake?
My ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay. In what way?
Vacations and...
So interesting. The person you marry or the person you're with has got to be arguably the #1 most important financial decision ever. All right? I'm not just saying that because my wife's sitting over there, but I'm also saying it because if you're around that right person, you're with them, they'll level you up as a person and you'll have more stability, and 2 minds is better than 1. I mean, it's 100% true. This is a great financial mistake.
Just dinners. Just didn't work out.
Eating out.
And this is why she's your ex-girlfriend.
This is why.
Okay. And if you
What a great financial move to break up with someone who is like that doesn't share the same values as you when it comes to money. Smart move. You know what? Success is a matter of having one uncomfortable conversation after another. He would have had an uncomfortable conversation, now he's winning.
could go back, what would you change?
It was a good experience, so lesson learned. I don't think I'd change much.
Lesson learned. So now just pay for less vacations and dinners?
Yeah, stay single.
Staying single, not a good idea. It's actually proven that married men are wealthier than unmarried men because stability in relationships actually one of the best wealth moves you can make. Just crappy decision who it is. So if you actually make a good decision on that, you'll be a lot wealthier. So don't agree with that. And he'll figure that out too when he grows up. He'll figure that out.
I want to be a billionaire by 30.
How do you think you're going to accomplish that?
I'm going into quant finance. I'm going to try and break into investment.
Billionaire by 30. Possible, statistically unlikely. Let's have a look.
Investment banking, but on the quant side. I'm going to work in it for 2 years, get out of the industry, start my own sustainable private equity firm. Then I'm going to rack up a lot of money and then start my own offshore sustainable wind farm.
Okay, she's got a plan, which is very unusual. Usually when people say, I'm going to be a billionaire in the next 2 years, whatever it was, they don't have a plan. She's got a plan, but unfortunately her plan is like not rooted in reality. To create an offshore sustainable wind farm is ridiculous, but I don't want to get in the way of her dreams, but that's unlikely in the next couple of years, that's for sure. Like this, what? Delusional a little bit, but good for her.
Off the coast of North Carolina.
Wow, very ambitious.
Thank you.
She's got it all figured out, and then boom, get sick or something, you gotta like be careful, like got it all planned out. What is the old saying? You make plans and then God laughs. So, hey, good for her being ambitious, but I would say too, like, why does someone want to be a billionaire? Like, I mean, it sounds like I don't know. I think billionairehood comes more out of luck of long-term work ethic on doing something effective than a perfect plan in the next couple of years based on no experience really. So I would say that her chances of becoming a billionaire in the next couple of years are almost zero, I would say.
$2,121.
Oh, and she's got $2,000 in her bank account. Come on! This generation is flipping delusional. They think they can go, I want to be a billionaire. It's like it says, I'm going to make $1 million. Do you know how flipping hard it is to make $1 million in a year? Do you know statistically what that is? The average wage is $100,000 a year. Like brain surgeons do 500. I think social media has completely cooked people's expectations. Bring them back down.
Stop being afraid of spending money. I spent over $2 million last year and I had the best time of my life. Money isn't meant to be saved and invested for your future freedom. It's meant to be spent on the fancier things in life. Spending money makes you work harder. This week I worked 70 hours to pay off my...
If you love working 70 hours a week for the rest of your life, do what he says. But if you can create money and buy assets that produce for you, you don't have to work. And that's a much better place to be. You want to avoid buying all that stuff early, like Lambos and stuff. Later is good. It definitely makes you want to work hard, but he's also young. If you get older, you won't want to work as much.
This is the hardest I've ever worked in my life and I'm drowning in debt and I'm still broke.
So he's getting debt and it's motivating him to work. So some people are motivated by being in debt and having no money. It motivates you because you have no flipping choice. But I like to work through, that's called working through desperation. I like to work through inspiration. I've got enough money where I don't have to work anymore, but I do work that I love. And I think that's a better place to be because you're gonna work for longer and better when you love what you do. So I wouldn't do that.
Just quickly, if you're ready to take control of your finances but feel stuck on where to start, I have a solution. My book, Money Buys Happiness, simplifies investing and wealth building with practical steps to help you achieve financial peace. Get your copy via the link in the show notes and let's get your money working for you. Now back to the episode.
The top 5 most profitable businesses to start in 2025. Or if you want to hustle and start one right now, let's go. Number 5, a digital agency. A lot of companies outsource their social media and their digital advertising. It's more efficient for them to focus on the business and have somebody else do it. The global industry revenue for 2023, $389 billion. Number 4, bookkeeping and accounting for the gig workers.
I wouldn't start an accounting and bookkeeping business in 2025 now because AI is just gonna decimate that. Most accounting software like QuickBooks and Xero and so forth do a lot of that already. And you can offshore it to India and you have to compete with people in India. So that's gonna disappear soon. I wouldn't do that one.
Because of the gig economy, you have a lot of freelancers. You have the opportunity to niche down for this sector. Net profit margin, 18.4%. Number 3, online courses. Now I know people have feelings about this category.
Online courses was pretty good. It's pretty commoditized now. So if you're gonna sell a course, you gotta get ad traffic on it. And by the time you've got ad traffic on it, unless you've got organic audience growth, a lot of your margin's eaten away. So you gotta get eyeballs on the course. Most people build courses and then they sit there with no traffic on them. So there's a bit more to it than that, but it can work if it's a piece of a larger business model.
I can't leave it off the list. The majority of your time and investment is front loaded. So you build out your course. Once the course is built, you can sell that course for years after.
Yeah, but you've got to provide content to your audience so they see you, know you, like you, trust you, then buy your course. So it's not passive income. It's actually like actively doing, you got to do it all the time to get people to buy your course.
No inventory, profit margin through the roof. Number 2,
profit margin. Profit margin is not through the roof. If you're sending ad traffic there, it's not. Drop shipping
also has somewhat of a bad rep, but I think this is a great opportunity.
Drop shipping is effective if you know how the rules of business, but most people get into drop shipping and they can't even do a flipping reel. They can't even do a Facebook post. So what are you gonna do when you get all this product in your garage? How are you gonna sell it if you don't have any marketing? So drop shipping is effective, but you wanna make sure you don't select the product you wanna sell, go and work it backwards, find out what's already selling, what people are already buying on TikTok, and go find them what's already selling. Go actually find a red ocean and create a blue ocean offer for the drop shipping offer, and you'll definitely sell more. But most people just sell what they wanna sell and they never
create the brand, you market it, someone else manages and distributes the inventory. The expected gross for the sector.
Yeah, but then you've got to get ad traffic on it. Like, if you go get a product and you don't have people looking at it or seeing it, you're gonna not sell any.
20% by 2028. But with Amazon's current partnership with TikTok, I actually think the growth here could be much more significant. And number 1 is e-commerce. I know that's broad. This is any business where your product is sold online.
I think most businesses now are e-commerce businesses. And if you're not an e-commerce business now in 2025, then you need to get your shit. I mean, you probably don't even exist. I'm probably talking to you in the past. But every business is now e-commerce. Like, you're gonna have an Instagram account, you're gonna have social media marketing going on. Dropshipping is e-commerce. In fact, all these are e-commerces. So, I don't know. Yeah, I think you've gotta mention AI a little bit in this now because AI is gonna absolutely decimate a lot of these types of businesses, like online courses. The first 3 will probably be hit hard by AI. So I agree with some of them, but I think there's better ones. Laundromat, let's have a look. Let's have a reaction.
Here's the difference between a $100,000 investment in stocks versus real estate. So let's start with stocks. If you had $100,000, typically investors see anywhere between 8 to 12% when putting their money in the market. After 10 years, your money would compound up to $215,000 all the way to $310,000. Now for real estate, if you use leverage and use the $100,000 to buy multiple properties, you could buy 5 properties that are each $100,000 and put 20% down. So
you can't just go and buy 5 properties with that amount of money because it's dictated by your serviceability with the bank loans. And that's what people don't realize. And then what they don't realize, and this is usually a rule done by young people, they've never actually experienced a real estate collapse before. So they have no idea what that's like. And I saw people in 2008 who had 5 properties have 0. So you got to be careful you don't lever up like this. This is too much leverage on the equity portion of the assets. And you can't just like cookie cut all these houses because the bank will say, no, we can't lend you any more money. So that's not as easy as what you think. Then you got to manage 5 properties and 5 flipping tenants, 5 different insurances and 5, it's not easy. Stocks sits by itself.
You're putting $20,000 in each property. And that also means that you have $500,000 in controlled assets. And if each of those $100,000 rental properties are making $250 per month in net cash flow, that means you're going to see a total of $1,250 per month in net cash flow.
Yes, that's very true if they do, because you're going to have tenants come and go. You'll have different things to manage. People may do a runner. They may not pay rent. You have to get the sheriff in, get them out. There's more to it than just like on the paper. It's not as easy as what you...
And if you assume a 3% appreciation after 10 years, you'll be able to see about $150,000 in net cash flow. And with a 3% appreciation, you'll have about $270,000 in equity. And when you add it together, that's $420,000 after 10 years.
Yes, but it's going to take you a lot longer than that to accumulate those because you've got to come up with the deposit all the time. It looks good on paper, sounds good on paper. In theory, the leverage is absolutely correct. You can gain more by leverage, but what he's not factoring into this is what happens if real estate goes down. Then you're amplifying your losses too, and that's not taken into consideration here. Nor is it in with the stocks, but no, there's no such thing as the perfect easy way, certainly not 5 houses.
How much money do you have in crypto?
Right now, 300,000.
Can we see the portfolio?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Dogecoin.
Oh shit, he's got 300. He's got 300,000 in Dogecoin. Oh man, like, well, good luck to him. Might see another reel with him living on the street. When Dogecoin goes to 0, he might have gotten out of it by now. He's speculating, he's gambling, this guy. You would never put 300,000 in any crypto, let alone, unless he's worth maybe like 3 or 4 million, in which case he can play around with that. But Dogecoin, man, he's speculating. The problem with this is a lot of young people are getting trained to speculate because they're in a big bull market. They've never experienced a big serious recession before, and that's going to come back and haunt them when they need the fiat currency to live. They're going to want it. Everyone's going to sell at the same time. It's going to bid it to 0. It's a hot potato. Not going to work out. Here we go. All right, let's get a big reaction here.
People are like, oh, well, you can make 10% on your real estate every single year. I can do that with Bitcoin. And I can just sell it the next day. Oh, yeah, but you have a place to live. Yep, I can just rent it. And I don't own any of the liabilities. Oh, why don't you own a yacht? Why would I just rent it when I need it? How many times I've been on a yacht? 12 times? 15?
I disagree with the Bitcoin part, but I agree with renting stuff, like renting a house, yes. Renting a yacht, yes, we rent a yacht most years. It's just easier than owning for many other reasons. Most people buy it for status, not because it's more functional, because you got to clean it, maintain it, and so forth. I 100% agree. Easier to...
15 times, does it justify me spending $5 million to buy one to fit in with everything? No, it's bullshit. It's all about freedom. It's the freedom game, guys. If you have too much things tied up to you, they can take these things away from you.
It's not just freedom of the money, it's actually freedom of decision making. So like when you own a yacht or you own this many cars or this many properties or whatever, they all take up a little bit of space in your head and nothing lives in your head rent free, which means you'll get decision fatigue thinking about all the things that you own. You'll be cluttered, you won't be free in your mind, which means you won't be happy in your soul.
The confidence comes in yourself. It's about not adding this baggage that people have told you makes you successful. You don't need...
You come into this world with nothing, you leave with nothing. My dad says you're just a caretaker of things. So why would you want to own more things? They're not really yours anyway. You're just taking care of them until you die.
Any of these things, you just need to be able to do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. Don't add on.
Freedom of choice to move around, do the things you want to do is far more valuable and wealthier than owning things and stuff. Owning things and stuff is more of a new thing. It's the old way of showing status, but status now is freedom and time, becoming time rich, which is why my new book, Become Time Rich, I talk about this.
No more federal income tax and $8,000 back for every man, woman, and child inside the United States. This is what we're talking about as a possibility today. Now, neither of these are 100% confirmed, but they are.
So what's happening is Elon and Trump are going in and figuring out a lot of wasted money from taxpayers has gone to the wrong things. Totally wasted, absolute corruption. And what they've decided is they're probably going to give back a big tax refund to the Americans who deserve it because it's their money. Your tax money is your money. They'll give it to the wrong people and they spent it poorly and they should get it back.
On the table. So first off, let's talk about income tax. How much more money would you have back if you had no federal income tax whatsoever?
The way they're going to abolish the federal income tax is to create income from tariffs. They're going to change the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service, to the ERS, the External Revenue Service. They're going to get money off other countries for doing business with the United States, so the federal income tax can be abolished and you can just have state tax if you need it.
How much would that help you throughout the year? I know that would help my family substantially, but to top that off, Elon Musk said that DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, has found so much wasteful spending, over $2 trillion, that Americans deserve a check.
So they're giving the money back because it was poorly spent on bad things, corruption, wasted things, which is great. And if you look back to the early 1900s, before World War II, there was no income tax. Certainly before World War I, there was no income tax. Income tax is a recent phenomenon. The problem with so much of it is the governments that are in charge didn't earn it, it's not theirs, but they're in charge of spending it, in which case they spend it poorly. So you're gonna see a lot of this rein back in all governments because for the last 10, 15, 20 years, it's been dramatically wasted. And so that's a wonderful thing, that's great. That's wonderful, wonderful management. That's financial management of a great country. I hope we do the same thing in Australia because they waste it here too.
How to ask my husband to be able to kind of be a stay-home mom. I don't really feel like I want to go back to work. I feel like I really want to spend time raising our little one.
Cool.
Husband makes $975,000 a year and won't let his wife stay at home with the kids. This guy's a flippin' narcissist.
What a great goal. So does he make enough money for y'all to live on?
Yeah, like he makes about $975,000.
What's that mean?
Oh, like $975,000.
$975,000 a year?
Yeah.
Dave Ramsey's like,
okay, I think you could probably freaking struggle through.
It's not so much the finances as it is. I think he has a worry that I'll never go back to work.
So?
You don't need to go back to work. If you're making $975,000, you don't have to get any better work. What's he spending his money on?
Like, I don't know. I think because his mom works like 3 jobs.
Oh, God, he's suffering from a mindset problem here. Like, just because his mom had to work 3 jobs. What the hell's the point? What's the point in having $975,000 and building wealth if you're just going to repeat the previous generation's need to work 3 jobs? The whole idea of money and freedom is not to have to work. That's the leisure class. That's the objective. Your reward for winning the game is to exit the game.
I know.
He makes $975,000. Okay, here's the deal. Sharon Ramsey went home to be a full-time mom when our first daughter was born 34 years ago.
I couldn't imagine raising a family where both had to work. Like, I see that in couples that have to do that to make ends meet. It just seems challenging. So the whole idea of building wealth is so you don't have to do the things you don't have to do or don't want to do. As soon as my sister was born, my mom stopped working and lived at home, and she raised 4 kids, and it just, like, my dad knew he would go win the bread, my mom would look up. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's why she raised such good kids. But, you know, not everyone can have that. But I think if you can, obviously, you do it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed those reactions. They were fun, huh? Some really cool ones in there. I agree and disagree with a lot of that stuff, but yeah, hope you learned something from that. If you want me to review something, send it over and I'll do a reaction to it just for you. So shoot it over and we'll have some fun together.
Thanks for listening to Money Grows on Trees. If you enjoyed the episode, leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and subscribe to us on YouTube so you never miss an episode. And if you're serious about building wealth, make sure to check out the links in the show notes and follow me on all social media platforms at Lloyd James Ross for more. See you in the next episode.